Viewers, these are the live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is headed on a two-day official visit to Saudi Arabia. In fact, during the crucial visit, he is also expected to meet with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Now, this comes freshly after Prime Minister Modi also organized a dinner for US Vice President J.D. Vance just yesterday at his official residence, the 7 Lok Kalyan Marg in the national capital. And today, these are the live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi getting into his plane headed to Saudi Arabia for a two-day official visit. In fact, Prime Minister Modi is all set to meet the Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Jeddah, the official two-day visit, will mark his first ever visit to the kingdom's commercial capital, which is Jeddah. He's going on an invitation by the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. And this trip is Prime Minister Modi's third to the kingdom after his earlier visits back in 2016 and 2019. Now, this comes as a part of the ongoing high-level diplomatic engagements between the two nations, following the Crown Prince's own state visit to New Delhi for the G20 summit back in September of 2023. Now, Prime Minister Modi and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, will co-chair the second meeting of the India-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council during this key official trip of 2 days. Also being joined by Rabindra Sachdeva, who is a foreign affairs expert, to speak to us about the matter. Mr. Sachdeva, welcome to Republic. Thanks for speaking to us. Your crucial insights into what is going to unfold in this key meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be with you and your esteemed viewers. See, of course, one is the usual things that are being talked about right now, Saudi, India, bilateral, multiple things, investments and all. I would like to highlight two different very things. One is, of course, which is also being talked about, the India-Middle East corridor. Right. I mean, that is a connectivity, India-Middle East-Europe corridor. That's a corridor which has very strategic, implications. And right now, there are two specific projects that the IMEC corridor can feed into and which India can benefit and other parties. One is the reconstruction of Gaza. Let's say the Trump plan is some reconstruction. In any case, has to happen in Gaza sometime, we don't know what. It may not become the French Riviera, but there will be reconstruction. So this corridor will become a very efficient means of transporting Indian construction and engineering and even, labor and skilled forces to the reconstruction there. That is one advantage for us. The second is the Neom city, which is a pet project favorite of the Crown Prince, which is a $500 billion project. And they already have some mega projects ongoing. So this corridor, connectivity via sea from India to the Arab Emirates, and then from Emirates overland, rail, going through Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and then from there connecting to Europe, Greece. So this corridor will become very robustly, valuable and useful, practical. So that's two big areas, right? The IMEC corridor, movement on that, and Saudi is in the middle of that solution with Trump, and India will also be integrated therein. The other is, I do think the Russia-Ukraine war. On Russia-Ukraine war, India, we have been doing a lot of groundwork, right? But now Saudi Arabia is playing the role of the mediator interlocutor, right? Now, within the Russia-Ukraine war, if and whenever a pause or a ceasefire comes, apart from many other things, there would be a need of a peacekeeping force or something like that, right? US has already indicated that, the troops can be from European companies or from some credible non-European countries. So when the discussions are happening with between Saudi and the Russians and the Americans as to how to plan out this, India could be invited to play a role on that. How we take it up is up to us. But I think there's a strong, valid chance because India contributes a lot of, we are the number 1 or number 2 now to the UN peacekeeping forces, and our troops would be, our presence would be okay with both Putin and Zelensky. There are many countries to which Putin will straight away object.
Yeah.
Okay, in case something like that comes around. So this could also be a footnote of the discussion between the Prime Minister and the Crown Prince. Other than, of course, various bilateral areas of, Saudi wants India to buy more oil, by the way.
Yeah.
Oil prices worldwide are going down. India has been buying more and more from Russia, so therefore we have reduced, though they're large enough. I think the third largest suppliers to India, but still we've been reducing Saudi purchases. Saudi would want to lock in India for some more long-term contracts. That's what they would want. Saudi needs to. It's not that the $100 billion fund, which 5 years ago was announced, nothing has happened on it yet, but something will happen. Okay, and that is something which the Saudis need. They need to use their money somewhere. Sure, I mean, we need the money for our infrastructure development, but here is someone, who's sitting, let's say, on a pile of $100 billion of cash. They want returns on that money. Where are they getting those returns on the money from?
Yeah.
Okay, the investments in India bring them good returns. So that is the investments, our both mutual things. There are supposed to be then links on green hydrogen, new energy, and actually even nuclear energy could be a very interesting area of exchange between Saudis and India. And I would look forward to seeing any comments on that. Saudi wants to go big time into nuclear energy, civil nuclear energy. It has been negotiating that with America since ages, and that is one of its terms for the accord with Israel, that I want nuclear energy because long term oil will run out. And the NEOM city, which I'm mentioning, $500 billion green project totally, it has to be powered by nuclear or green hydrogen.
Mr. Sachdeva, also,
Again, sorry.
Also wanting to understand, like we spoke about nuclear energy, apart from all the other global issues that are going to make it to the table, like we spoke about geopolitical issues, including the two wars that are ongoing. Other than that, there are also talks of, 6 key MOUs to be signed between the two countries first, and also the fact that they will discuss robustly over space developmental programs and clean energy programs. Talk to us about that also, Mr. Sachdeva.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, there would be several MOUs. I mean, one doesn't know the full scope, but yeah, definitely. I mean, there will be one actually also discussion, by the way, on prisoner release.
Okay.
There are about 2,500 Indians who are in prisons in Saudi Arabia. Worldwide, by the way, there are about 10,000 Indians who are in different jails in different countries, right? Out of which the most, about 26% are in Saudi Arabia. They may be held for minor charges or, because the rules there are different, the culture is different, whatever charges. So there is expected to be a discussion on that also. Now, in terms of the new energies or the energy, green hydrogen, as I mentioned, there would be, a discussion on that. And if I remember correctly, 2 pilot projects have already been highlighted or identified, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think so. Yes. They've set up a special zone, on the Red Sea. I think where 2 projects already with India have been earmarked. So there would be, Saudi is looking at India as a partner for new age, new tech. They want to move beyond oil. These countries are actually very futuristic in their vision. If you see what the Crown Prince is doing and what the Arab Emirates are doing, they're going very futuristic. They're trying to partner with India because of technology and then again the supply of talent. See, we come with a bundle and we come a bundle at a reasonable price. We bring engineering, we bring technologies, system integration, and we bring the engineers. And we also bring the workforce labor. So we bring all of that together, which these countries are very much looking at. So I think a lot of this would be reflected in this meeting.
Right. Thank you so much for joining in, Mr. Rabindra Sachdeva, and for getting all those key insights, to round for our viewers. Thank you so much. For now, viewers, it's time to shift focus and look at what's happening in West Bengal. Now, SSC candidates in Kolkata are staging a massive protest demanding the release of a list of eligible and ineligible candidates.